Hi everyone, this is Al, and in this video I'm going to fix the bird's wings and make him a tail. This video took me a while to make because the bird had a little accident and it lost its wing. I needed to rebuild the wing again from scratch and used a few wires just to make it a little bit stronger. I had to make all of the feathers that was on the wing again, so it took me a while. While I was fixing the one wing, I noticed that I haven't done something right the first time when I made the wings. So I decided to make it a little bit different and make a nice round curve there at the end of the wing before I put the feathers on it. And it looked pretty good. So I decided to do the same with the other wing, even if I had to do the other wing all over again. At least the two would look exactly the same and would look pretty good. Now I'm just going to place a few feathers on the wing. I had to remake some of the feathers because they didn't make it when the bird was falling, so I had to make all of them again and just place them back on the wing where they belong. Now I'm just going to place the feathers to see how they would look like upside down. I want to make sure that my bird has that beautiful, nice round curve that the wing makes just before the feathers are sticking out, just like the bird in the photo. Unfortunately, the small feathers that was on the bird's wing did not survive the accident that the bird had, so I'll have to make the small feathers in another video. Maybe the accident that the bird had was a blessing in disguise because honestly, I wasn't quite happy with my wings, so I'm actually glad I had to do them over again. There was something that was bothering me about the wings, something that was just not right, and I have made the wings all over again, and I must say it feels a lot better and it looks better too. Now I'm just going to gently place my feathers on my wing and just smooth them out into the wing just to make them a bit stronger. Now I have to make sure that that nice round curve that's under the wing is exactly the same as the other wing I did earlier. Now I'm just gonna make the wing a little bit thinner. If I put the feathers on the wing, it only makes the wing a little bit thicker. So in order to make the wing nice and thin, I have to scrape off some of the clay. Now I'm gonna use the scraping tool just to smooth my feathers out and to make them a little bit stronger. I also have to make sure that these feathers are nice and thin, so I'm just going to use the scraping tool just to make them a little bit thinner. And also the scraping tool helps me to make those nice lines that the feathers have. Now I'm just going to scrape off any unnecessary clay and make sure that my feathers are nice and thin. I'm just going to gently press the feathers together to make it stronger and to support the wing. The feathers are a little bit too thick for me, so I'm just going to scrape off some more clay just to make the feathers a little bit thinner. Now I'm going to start by making the tail's feathers. I'm going to take a piece of clay, roll it out till it's nice and thin, and then I'm going to cut the shape of the feather out of the piece of clay. I have to make sure that the feather is nice and thin and ready for the tail. I just made a few more feathers for the tail. I could not show how each and every feather is made because it will take too long for me to show it. Before I put any of the feathers on the tail, I have to make sure that the tail is the right size and shape. I'm now gonna place these two feathers on the tail. They'll be the shape and length that my tail will be when I place the other feathers on top of them. I am slowly gonna start by placing the other feathers on top of the first feathers and smoothing them into the body to make them nice and strong. The tail of the bird was getting a little bit too thick, so I just scraped off some clay. I made about 10 feathers for the tail. Now I'm gonna place the last two feathers on the tail. Now I'm just gonna make sure the tail is the right size and shape. Just gonna scrape off some clay to make it happen. Now I'm just gonna gently press the feathers closer together to make them nice and strong. I'm just gonna use the scraping tool just to scrape off some clay to make the feathers nice and thin. The scraping tool helps me to make the nice lines of the feathers. My tail is a little bit too thin, so I'm just gonna roll out the piece of clay and put it on the tail to give it the right size and shape. Now I'm just gonna add more clay to the tail to make sure that it's the right size and shape. Now I'm just gonna smooth out the clay and make sure that my tail is nice and smooth. Now I'm just gonna work on the tail until it's done. Gonna scrape off some clay and make sure that the feathers are nice and strong. I am finally done with the bird's tail. Next time I'll start making the smaller feathers on the wings. Thank you everyone for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe at the end, and I will see you next time.